Borderlands. With the critically rebuked film now in theaters, and having seen the film, I figured it was time to revisit the original game this garbage tier film is based on. My experience with Borderlands is fairly limited. I played the original game for a single campaign playthrough back on the Xbox 360 and never got into any of the following sequels. I'm not really a big fan of post-apocalyptic garbage worlds. Mad Max has never been super interesting to me, and that aesthetic of dumpster world just never drew me in. But having played the game years ago, I was able to appreciate some of the aspects of this film, though I didn't have a fond memory of the story other than you're a treasure hunter after a treasure vault. So I decided now is a good time to revisit Borderlands, but not just revisit it, platinum it. Hello my friends, and welcome to The Pondering. I am the real-life fake wizard. If this video brings you any value at all, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, where we're posting new videos nearly every day. This video is part of the Wizard Plays series. Some criteria here. I am a platinum trophy hunter. If I know that an old game can no longer be platinumed due to servers being down or criteria being impossible to complete, I will not play the game on my main account. I do not care about platinuming a game fairly. I look for every glitch and exploit to save on time for game completion. As an aside, I'm a business owner IRL, and I love gaming, so I do not have 100 hours to sink into games when I have to work mornings, nights, and weekends. I'm going to use every trick available to get this platinum trophy when offered. For this run, and every other run we do, DLC trophies are not important. The priority is the platinum. Our experience begins on Pandora with the choice of the 4 playable characters. We are going with Lilith for this playthrough. Firstly, because she's the main character of the new movie, but more so because she has a phase walk ability that gives her a faster running speed. That will help us save on time. When setting up for the game, for kicks, I turned on public game server, allowing anyone the option to join my game if they also decided to play because the movie came out. This is super important because some of the more difficult trophies to obtain will be multiplayer related and focused. More on that in a bit. Now, the game plan ahead was going to be simple. To get the 51 trophies in the base game, we're going to 1. Rush through the main story missions as fast as possible. That will get us all the unmissable and quest related trophies. 2. Follow up with the secondary collectible trophies like getting X kills with Y weapons that we missed in the initial playthrough. 3. There are 2 trophies that are going to be major time sinks, and that is completing every quest in the Arid Badlands and every quest in the Rust Commons. Initially, I thought that the Arid Badlands was a single map zone. It's not. The Arid Badlands and Rust Commons, respectively, are each about 8 maps worth of quests. So that's about 16 maps. 4. Multiplayer. Multiplayer trophies can make or break platinum trophy runs. If the game is too old, the servers to play on may not even be available anymore. Or the game is so old that there are no more players to get these trophies with. Thankfully, Borderlands 1 has always been 2-player couch co-op. So many of the trophies that require 2 players can be done with a second remote. There's one trophy specifically that I'm nervous about getting, and that's this trophy called "And Then They'll Tell 2 Friends," which requires us to have 3 active players logged into the game at one time. Originally, back on the PS3 and Xbox 360, to get this specific trophy, you had to play with either a game dev or play with someone who already has this trophy. Thankfully, that's wildly different from the PS4 updated version we are playing here. Instead, we just have to play with 3 people at one time. And 5, and lastly to our game plan, we will need to play all of the characters over again until we level up enough to get all the character action abilities. That might suck. That's going to take some time. It's estimated that this game will take around 50 hours to complete, and I don't have 50 hours to spend. So let's see how we do. Upon kickoff, we get a handful of the introduction trophies and start playing some missions. No problems so far, and no early deaths either. I had seen some online say that Lilith is the hardest to play out of the 4 playable characters, but I didn't have any issues myself. Now, like I said before, upon starting the game, I left the lobby open so that if anyone else in the world wanted to join us, they could, and they did. Now, I want to be clear, I'm a single-player gamer. I don't play Call of Duty or Fortnite. I don't even have a headset that works on the PlayStation. I haven't played Call of Duty since the 360 days, and even then I was not very good. So I was unprepared and surprised to find out the PS5 controller has a built-in microphone and speaker to it. So while I think I'm recording myself talking through gameplay for this video, I'm actually talking to some bro in the chat who can hear me through my remote.
Sure, I'll take that. And I'll take the level up too. Thanks, kind stranger. I don't have an open mic, but I can hear him. You can? How you doing? Yeah, well, they got Jack Black as Claptrap. Oh shit.
Not only does this guy just happen to be playing this 15-year-old game when we are, but he's a vinyl boss farmer. I end up talking to the guy through my remote, and he offers to take me to his game to power level. So we jump over there and keep refreshing Cromerax till I am max level. This is fantastic. We're barely out of the first map, and we're max level. We picked up all the leveling trophies. Sell one gun from the Cromerax raid gets us maximum money, so that $1 million trophy is completed. And now we can one-shot every single enemy in the game. And the cherry on top of it all is when a third player joins his game, and boom, we pull that difficult and then there'll be two friends trophy. We are kicking ass so far and making great progress at beating that 50-hour mark. Later on, I would come back and find the arena and decided now would be a good time to pull out that second remote to do the arena trophy and clear the two duel trophies. Next, we're back on track. We are going to run through every opponent standing in the way, netting all of the location discovery trophies, all of the story boss trophies, pick up some weapon trophies along the way, and eventually find ourselves standing face to face with the vault.
Sergeant, get your team ready to go inside.
For a game that focuses so much on being a treasure hunter and finding this vault, I really wanted to see what's inside the vault. Now, because I haven't played the DLC, I don't know if the vault comes up again later, but I was kind of disappointed to not get to go inside the vault to see it. As soon as the key fragments are used and the vault door is opened, a big Cthulhu monster pops out of it, which we will dispatch in about 20 bullets. At this point, if we look back on the game plan we started with, we have cleared all of the story trophies and all of the multiplayer trophies. There was another trophy that required finishing 15 missions to be completed in co-op, and we got that just from leaving the game set to public, and the same 2 or 3 guys kept joining our game. So clearing that was actually easy. Next, we're going to do the side trophies that are based on references like jumping on an enemy's head to death or finding the boat from SNL's Lonely Island's I'm on a Boat song. Remember the Lonely Island from the 2010s? Remember? It was a good time. It was a good era for SNL. Hasn't been the same since. Clearing those will bring us to the Time Trial Challenge trophy. Friends, I hate time trials. And I'm not good at driving in video games. Those of you who've seen my gaming streams all know that I'm terrible at driving in games. And here we have complete the speed trial in 31 seconds. Well, after finally finding the speed track, which was difficult to find, by the way, we tried it. And failed. And failed. And failed. And failed again. I had to watch 3 separate videos explaining how to pull this off, and after 17 tries, it still didn't work. I was about ready to smash the remote when finally it glitched. I swear, I think the game was mocking me at that point. And now we've cleared the filler trophies, so there's a choice ahead. Do we stick with Lilith as the main character and start plowing through all the outstanding quests to be done? Or start one of the other characters over and play it without one-shot killing everything? Oh, we're definitely sticking with max level Lilith. Completing all of the quests in the arid Badlands wasn't so bad, though at this point in the playthrough, I am getting super tired of the travel system in this game. Prior to this, I had just done a platinum playthrough of Fallout 4, and the Bethesda fast travel system is one of my favorites. Here's how travel works in Borderlands. You teleport to a map, spawn a car, drive halfway to the destination, realize you needed to take the extra long way around, double back. Oh no, there's a roadblock and you need to huff it on foot the rest of the way. Also, you can deliver this gently used napkin to the NPC. Now spend another 20 minutes running back to that spawn point to go do it again on another map. And we're gonna have to do that for over 100 quests. The arid Badlands has 44 missions to complete, so we'll clear those first. Thankfully, I ended up clearing most of these early on in my campaign push. Before I figured out to read on the bottom of the board what the labels were, I was doing all of the quests. Then eventually I saw it says main quest and optional quest. So we'll pick up the Made in Firestone trophy, easy peasy. Next, we need to clear all the Rust Commons quests, which has 67 quests to be done. Unlike the arid Badlands, I did not do many of them, and now that we're doing them out of order, I will need to read through my list of completed quests and compare that to a list of quests I found online that need to be completed for this. This will take me nearly 6 hours of gameplay to complete, with how many there are to do, the amount of traveling on foot required, and how many wrong turns I would take. Again, traveling in this game kinda sucks. Also, if you hadn't noticed from that time trial trophy, getting stuck on walls absolutely sucks in this game. Having the vehicle collide with a wall in any way is an instant hard stop, and it sucks so much. Getting through the Rust Commons quests were rough, because at this point, my energy for the game has run very low, and if it weren't for doing this video that you're watching now, I'd have probably put the game down for a few months and come back to finish later. I have an extremely short attention span for most games. But alas, we stayed the course and finished all the Rust Commons quests, netting us the 2 longest trophies in the game. By completing both of these trophies, it also means we rescued all the claptraps, which nets us another trophy. Side note, if you play this game and do a trophy run, always rescue the claptraps when you find them. Don't come back and do them later. When they're rescued, you get a backpack upgrade that gives you 3 more backpack slots. Use this immediately so you don't accidentally sell it. If you sell it and you can't buy it back, you will not be able to get this trophy with this character. It will ruin your platinum run. Next, I see we're missing a few straggler weapon trophies, the first one being 12 Days of Pandora. Through my playthrough, I mostly just used the single corrosive pistol I got from that Cromerax raid, and only rarely switched weapons, so we'll need to clear shotgun kills and machine gun kills. A few bullets later, and great success. Now, because we only ever used one gun, we need to sell 50 weapons to vendors to get the fence trophy. I was not picking guns up along the way very often. To do this, I went to a vendor, bought every weapon, then went to a second vendor and sold all the guns. I did that over and over until I hit 50, and we got the trophy. That leaves us with the 3 remaining trophies that require us to get action skill kills with the other 3 playable characters. At this point, I don't want to play anymore. And I especially don't want to listen to Claptrap do that dumbass tutorial 3 more times. But that's exactly what we'll do. And then we had to play with all the characters until they were high enough level to get their action skills. And then they need to be able to sustain those kills we need. This would take us another 2-ish hours, but that just made it even more satisfying when we finally pulled the Platinum Trophy. Borderlands is a lot of fun, though in its repetition, it drives me crazy. I recall playing World of Warcraft and how there are countless nonsense quests like go kill 5 pigs, pick 17 berries, fight Balthazar the Well-Endowed. The Borderlands quests are very similar. You know, go kill Vinny Big Balls, or please find my 3-day-old McDonald's fries. I think the appeal to this game would very much be the scaling difficulty when playing with friends. And while the folks I played with were not friends, completing the game in the time we did would not have been possible without additional player intervention. So now that this Borderlands experience draws to a close, I want to point out how odd it is that they cast Jamie Lee Curtis, who is in her 70s, to play Tannis, who should be like 25 to 30 years old, and Cate Blanchett, who is 55, also playing a 25 to 30-year-old, because both actresses are fantastic, but they shouldn't have been either of these characters. That being said, it is not even close to being the worst of the film's problems. We're seeing now that Borderlands is likely to become the worst box office flop in history, but who could have seen a failure like that coming? My friends, I want to thank you for joining me for this pondering special. If you would please like the video. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like what I had to say, fine. And until next time, create, innovate, inspire. May the force be with you. And for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. Bye-bye.